What if the people around you are hiding the truth in plain sight? What subtle signs would give them away if you only knew where to look? And how could Stoic wisdom help you see beyond words to uncover reality? Signs someone is lying to you. We live in a world where everyone wants to be believed, but not everyone deserves to be. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be clear-eyed, not cynical, not naive, but aware, to value honesty, to recognize when something doesn't feel right, and to have the courage to act on that awareness. So, if someone is lying to you, know this: you don't have to catch them in the act. You just have to notice the signs, patterns, behaviors, the way their words don't match their eyes, the way their stories shift, the way they make you feel unsure. Use this video as a guide. Pay attention, stay grounded, and above all, trust yourself. If this video brought you clarity, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe to Stoic Thrive for more content that blends timeless Stoic wisdom with the reality of everyday life. Until next time, stay honest, stay wise, and don't settle for half-truths. 1. Inconsistent stories. Think about how memory works. When someone tells the truth, their memory is consistent. It might include different details over time, but the core story remains the same. They're recalling an actual experience, not creating one. A liar, however, is inventing or adjusting details as they go. One version might sound solid at first, but when retold, the timeline shifts, characters come and go, and actions are suddenly rearranged. You might hear something like, "I got home around 6, but the next time I stayed late at work until almost 7. It's not always dramatic. The changes are often small, but small changes add up, especially when they don't make sense with what they previously said or did. In a real-life example, imagine a coworker who says they submitted a report at 3:00 p.m., but your system shows it was logged at 5:30. That gap might not prove they're lying, but paired with other signs is something to notice. Stoics value truth, but they also value consistency. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Let your one delight and refreshment be to pass from one service to the community to another with God ever in mind." In other words, your integrity should carry through in everything you do. If someone's story keeps shifting, they're not living in truth. They're adjusting the truth to protect themselves. 2. Too much or too little eye contact. Let's break a myth. Not all liars avoid eye contact. Some because they feel guilt, shame, or fear. Others overcompensate and hold your gaze too intensely, trying to seem honest. The trick is noticing whether the eye contact feels natural or forced. Healthy, truthful eye contact tends to flow with the conversation. There are pauses, glances away when thinking, and relaxed facial expressions. A liar might either avoid your gaze completely or they might lock on too tightly, hoping to project confidence. And it's not just the eyes. Look at the whole face. Does their expression match what they're saying? Are they smiling with their mouth, but not their eyes? Do they blink less than normal? These subtle clues reveal tension, fear, or rehearsed emotion. From a Stoic point of view, this is about congruence. What's being said versus what's being shown. Epictetus taught that we should make the best use of what is in our power and take the rest as it naturally happens. That means we shouldn't force truth. It should come naturally without strain. Someone trying too hard to seem honest is likely hiding something. It's not the amount of eye contact that matters, it's whether it feels real. 3. Over-explaining. Lies often need to be propped up. When someone's being dishonest, they instinctively feel the need to sell their version of events. So they go on and on, adding details you didn't ask for, repeating themselves, or offering way too much backstory. Let's say you ask someone, "Did you go to the party?" An honest person might say, "No, I stayed home." A liar might say, "No, I wanted to, but I wasn't feeling great. I was going to go around 8 o'clock, but then I got this text from my cousin who needed help with his car." And by the time I got back, it was too late. And anyway, I didn't think it would be that fun without James there. See the difference? One is direct, the other is a performance. Over-explaining is also about nervousness. When people lie, they fear being caught, so they try to cover every angle. Ironically, the more they explain, the more suspicious they sound. Stoicism encourages us to speak with clarity and restraint. Seneca said, "Speech that's full of noise and fuss is empty of meaning. Truth doesn't need padding. It's just island." If someone keeps giving you a monologue for a yes or no question, ask yourself, what are they trying to hide under all those words? 4. Defensive reactions. Nothing raises a red flag faster than a defensive overreaction to a simple question. You might say, "Hey, I just noticed you weren't at the meeting. What happened?" And instead of a calm response, they say, "Why are you always questioning me? You don't trust anyone." It's like, "I can't do anything without being accused." That's a classic deflection. Liars often respond with anger, sarcasm, or victimhood because they want to flip the emotional balance. Suddenly, you're the bad guy for asking, and they don't have to answer. They might also get quiet, pull back, or act offended, like the question itself is an insult. This behavior is meant to scare you off from asking again. But the Stoics taught the value of emotional control. If someone's being truthful, they might be surprised, but they won't lose control. They'll explain. They'll stay centered. They won't melt into a defensive spiral. Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." A liar reacts with fear and aggression. An honest person reacts with clarity and calm. So, next time someone gets weirdly defensive over a simple question, pay attention. It might be more than just stress. It might be self-preservation. 5. Vague or evasive answers. This is one of the most common lying tactics. Keep things foggy. You ask something direct and get a cloud in return. Example, Q. Did you talk to Sarah yesterday? A. We've been in touch here and there. Why do you ask? Notice how the answer doesn't actually answer the question. Liars often avoid specifics because specifics can be proven wrong, so they keep things general. I was busy. I had errands. I was out. The vaguer the answer, the more room they have to shift it later. They also tend to redirect. What's with all the questions? Why are you so obsessed with this? It's not just dodging. It's turning the focus back on you. From a Stoic view, this is avoidance of accountability. Truth stands up and faces reality. Lies hide in the shadows. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change." That's the mindset of someone committed to truth. But liars avoid change, responsibility, and clarity. Watch for vagueness. Truth doesn't stutter. 6. Incongruent body language. Have you ever heard someone say something nice, but their tone or posture made it feel wrong? That's called nonverbal leakage. When someone lies, their mouth might say one thing, but their body accidentally reveals the truth. Here's what to look for. Saying "I'm fine" with clenched fists or a stiff jaw, nodding yes while saying no, a flat or forced smile that vanishes quickly, shrugging or shifting constantly when talking. These signals don't always mean someone's lying, but they do show inner conflict. Their words and actions are out of sync. And the Stoics teach us to live in alignment, mind, word, and deed working as one. If someone's body is screaming discomfort while their words insist everything's okay, listen to the body. Words lie. The body whispers the truth. 7. Gut feeling. This one's harder to define, but often the most important, your intuition. Sometimes there's no clear evidence, no contradiction, no glaring body language, just a feeling like something's off. You feel it in your chest, in your stomach, a subtle pull that says, "Don't trust this." Stoicism doesn't dismiss emotion, it disciplines it. Your gut is part of your perception. It's the sum of all the subtle data your brain is picking up. Tone, timing, expression, history. When you feel uneasy, it's worth pausing. Ask, Has this person given me reasons to doubt them before? Is what they're saying aligned with the past behavior? Am I being told the full truth or just the convenient version? Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That's true, but Stoics also knew that ignoring patterns out of politeness is a form of self-deception. Use your gut, then test it with reason. We live in a world where everyone wants to be believed, but not everyone deserves to be. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be clear-eyed, not cynical, not naive, but aware. To value honesty, to recognize when something doesn't feel right, and to have the courage to act on that awareness. So if someone is lying to you, know this. You don't have to catch them in the act. You just have to notice the signs, patterns, behaviors, the way their words don't match their eyes, the way their stories shift, the way they make you feel unsure. Use this video as a guide. Pay attention, stay grounded, and above all, trust yourself. If this video brought you clarity, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more content that blends timeless Stoic wisdom with the reality of everyday life. Until next time, stay honest, stay wise, and don't settle for half-truths.